This is Resident Evil 4, a game worth sinking your canines absolutely into. Booting up the game, do you A, play Resident Evil 4 as a normal functioning human and go about your life, or B, descend into the depravity this game has to offer and get yourself the equivalent of a self-inflicted lobotomy on a twisted challenge run? If you picked option A, congratulations, you're a stand-up fella.
Yeah, boy.
However, if you stuck around and peeked into option B, you have a specific type of problem wrong with your brain, the same as me. I aspire to be one of those special, soulless, and numb YouTubers that do these challenges. How would I put my name on the monolith of suffering? Then it came to me. Like a biblically accurate angel. The mod Berserker Plus. An absolute aneurysm waiting to happen and be conquered. So, what are the basics? Every enemy has been dramatically changed for the worst. Each encounter now a puzzle threatening me to the point of madness. At least one, if not more, insta-kill enemies in every encounter. Resource management and items are going to be flipped upside down, and no gimmicks like infinite weapons or out-of-mod charms.
Okay, we are cool.
Lastly, playing on the Leon Must Die difficulty, which, rest assured, dear viewer, we will be doing a lot. Here we have all the ingredients for a perfect sandwich of misery, the pinnacle of pain and my supper of suffering. This is the hardest challenge I will have attempted to do to date. YouTube viewer, for your enjoyment, I, the silly little internet monkey man, will dance for you to beat this challenge that may break my very soul and mind. As we fade in, we already know how absolutely cooked we are when we are greeted by John Cena. Speaking of cooking, what's going on back here? Our old friend, the merchant. Oh boy, it's not good if he's here and he's giving away free weapons. What possibly could be up ahead that the modder felt it was necessary? Well,
But wait! There's more! Wait.
making our way into the village, it seems every individual within a 5-mile radius would descend onto our location. The one cell left in my ADHD brain could not begin to comprehend the deep doo-doo we were absolutely stepping into. In the cabin, no shotgun to be found. We would only have our pistol, the equivalent of shooting fly farts at their faces. Our kicks serve to be infinitely better. Please make it make sense. And why is there ammo for a gun I don't even have yet? After enough running around to make me IRL exhausted, and enough ammunition to supply a small militia, everything we lost would be returned with interest. It's so silly that we somehow still managed to get back 200 bullets. With 2 tons of lead and cash in my back pocket, what oh what would we buy with our hard-earned cash? To pack more guns than the biceps Leon is hauling around. With these new weapons in tow, I could dispatch these senior citizens with ease, but Leon was in a very similar situation on the opposite. Any enemy could practically two-shot us, if not just straight out vaporize us. The big difference, there would be so many more of them versus one of me. I am the one on the proverbial white couch. To make matters worse, health items would be hard to find and crafting a full heal would be impossible with herbs. Satisfying my need for a full health bar could only be accomplished with the best hairspray known to man or gluck-glucking glizzy-glogging a full fish from tip to tail. How horrifying would that be to see a man glork down an entire fish without breaking eye contact in the middle of heated combat? No wonder people are chasing down Leon. He is public enemy #1 with lips like that. And it doesn't stop there. The challenge continues to put you in a chokehold when you're trying to do something devious. Like here in this marshy outcropping, a shack lies ahead. You can typically bait enemies in there, keeping the whole experience very contained. It's locked, and I'm afraid. Good thing a shotgun can really put the courage into a man's heart. Finishing off the chapter, we stave off any grannies left and find the zaddy of Resident Evil. This chapter felt fairly easy, and I thought the rest of the challenge would go similarly. But how foolish I was. The only consolation that I'll have after all of this is Leon being jacked enough to burst out of dress shirts. Now, crawl through the grime with only a butter knife. Leon has used much less for much worse. They're swiftly dispatching them in the quickest game of Dead by Daylight, comfortable once again with our gear. I smell something fishy.
Who's that Pokemon?
That's Pikachu! Hitting out our damage output would be nice. Damage is king in this economy. If gun hit harder, person fall down faster. Less people there to take damage on me. Despite these damage upgrades, a scent of death was in the air, and we would face our first big obstacle.
The Gorge.
Shacked locked, the soothing sounds of chainsaws 2 feet behind me. Dynamite. Hammer time. What else could you possibly stuff in this turducken of a situation? How about some RPGs? Yes, RPGs. As they say, as above, so below. You had to worry about The threats from the sky and the ground. The chainsaw grannies didn't get me, the dynamite sure would make it easier for them. Aiming would be a luxury we just couldn't afford all the time. I'd have to take my chances lining up shots on our blasty boys, and everyone else would just have to quick aim with our shotgun. Good thing it packed enough of a punch to send them off to sleep. The hot sun baking on our skin now. Things would only start heating up, as now they would start sending lumberjacks with their only weakness being a literal Achilles heel. For our trouble, we did come across some shiny new spannel to buy some snazzy upgrades. This stuff is like liquid gold. It's so priceless, it's like 2 inches on the donger. One such upgrade is this one-of-a-kind, limited edition, supernatural, demonic teddy bear charm. Sealing my fate with the ancient bears, I could now craft ammo with less gunpowder. Don't ask me how it works, don't ask questions, it's magic. The previous venture, I thought we would be done with lumberjack sports. Turns out I was very wrong, as we stumbled upon the lumberjack championship of the world, and with Leon's legs being as caked up as possible he could open up a bakery, we outran them in classic Scooby-Doo fashion. We would use our sniper rifle to get that good penetration to stop these people from getting revved up. Due to everyone else being disqualified for sleeping during the competition, Leon won the grand prize of the Orb of Destiny. Using our caveman ways, we slammed it into the only hole we know that it could fit into. The next chapter would lie ahead. Before we could think of moving on, I swear we could hear the sound of thunder in the distance, but suspiciously it wasn't raining outside. Wait, what is that? Wait! Ooh, sorry about that. Just get so nervous in these high-stress situations. Speaking of cheeks getting clapped, it would foreshadow what was to come in the town square we were heading to. Here the mod is escalating and employing the tactic of increasing difficulty by not increasing number of guy, but by making guy bigger. The health of these macho men would be like that of a sedan. Have you seen them roll? They just get right back up. This is not even getting to the rage bait flavor of the day of these ranged pests. Or Vegeta here. Crawling into the depths, it would confirm our suspicions of this mod creator and how they were not loved dearly as a child. That existence is pain, and we would be seeing into the inner machinations of their mind, left only seeing an enigma, an unknowable horror that would leave my fingers flubbering and tingling. Such smelly, fishy tactics were in order, like using ladders to our advantage, running into other areas to elicit a safe zone. But that would only get us so far, as the wrath of Poseidon would descend upon our weak, frail human body for abusing such power. These aquatic shenanigans only seem to escalate at the local Japanese onsen. Tourists were furious at the quality of the water. Look at this place. Not obviously up to code, and it would seem to be turned into a sort of communal bathroom. Multifunctional. These tourists would be packing their travel pitchforks and bazookas with their carry-on dogs free of charge. The corridors being so tight would prove to be our saving grace, as these ne'er-do-wellers would be causing collateral damage to each other. Slowly and methodically, we would crawl our way to the very back. At this point, we were safe, and the only sounds being the relaxing sewage bubbles rising from the depths, or so I thought.
5 minutes later.
Berserker Plus is Resident Evil 4's version of Murphy's Law. If the worst possible thing can happen, it most undoubtedly will happen. If it's quiet, it's because evil is waiting and bad things are about to show up, violating you beyond the point of recognition. Leon will have to be sure to put a piece of identification on him. Finally, the last cross off of our bucket list. We end the day with a relaxing boat ride and an offering to Poseidon for our past transgressions. This fishing haul? Easiest part of the mod thus far. 10 out of 10. Getting ourselves to shore now, things would only truly again be heating up. Quite literally. A wide open map of valuable collectibles, but new variants to butter my absolute biscuits with. However, we would also be heating up along with them with the Killer 9 Magnum, a magnum that packs quite the punch. Many extra sections would be found in and around a lake. From a secret Dungeons & Dragons game, a meeting with the Deadly Animals Association, and whatever these people are doing to these poor chickens. Like, what do these chainsaw chummies and Iron Maidens have any business running a hobby farm? But I guess everyone is feeling the price of eggs lately. With everywhere being properly scoured now, I suppose we should continue on our quest of breaking hearts and faces. I've stepped into what I would only call as gamer hell. This place has the whole package, from bazookas, Los Plagas, chainsaws, and Shrek demanding I get out of a swamp. I thought the Magnum would be enough to push through the absolute girth this fight was presenting. This fight, just like in the Gorge, will require us to go beyond anything we learned in the base game. Navigating through this horde was threading an impossible needle. Corralling the enemies and eliminating those with ranged weapons was step 1 through this absolute nightmare. The next being efficient with our ammo to stop everything else. Just the sheer amount of health that was being presented was starting to become an issue. Whew, and we finally made it to just the big boy and I. Bringing him down did prove to be quite easy, as I think the boss health hasn't really been adjusted. The only consolation, the string of hope that's keeping me sane throughout this arduous fight. A second wave.
What?
The first one, brutal but malleable. The second wave felt theoretically possible in my lizard brain, but physically too much. There are more people here than it is allowed on a rugby field. And with this wave, a new challenger. How do we even the odds here? Well, I would proceed to do crimes against living beings. We went in there and I started blasting till they were erased from existence. And also having the utmost faith in a plastic knife.
What is that?
We dredge our way through the final phase. Finishing this chapter, we would upgrade shotgun and rifle to max damage and rate of fire for the road to prepping for these absolutely massive exclusive upgrades. These upgrades are major game changers, but we'll see if we get to them. Before getting to our co-star Ashley, we get a special guest appearance from our resident local stalker. Get that hand away from me. I'm telling you, that man needs to find a hobby besides following me around every day. With Ashley now in tow, I was petrified. The Ashley sections have been so painful that I think eye gouging would seem pleasant. Here I was incredibly tempted to put her in full plate armor, but it would go against the very spirit of the challenge. I have made it this far, and by God, I'm going to finish it how it was intended. But don't be surprised if Leon and I are looking awfully like Walter White by the end of this.
Wow!
Sneaking into the back alley, quaint and cozy, until everyone in the Tri-County area is here to eat Leon's cake. I cast a spell, Gun, but it proves ineffective, and there are so many of them that they bend the very fabric of reality in that corridor, pushing each other to ludicrous speeds until they're just on top of me before I have a moment to notice. You don't know when one person starts or another begins, a macabre centipede type situation. And don't even get me started if Ashley gets grabbed. Wait a minute, that gives me an absolutely awful idea. Let's get grabbed, make our way through the mosh pits, chase down the mouth breathers that have her, and make it all the way to the end where they will do no touchy. Work like a charm. Cheese sometimes does work. The little spannel we have, we nabbed the SMG for some juicy crowd control to finally use the ammo we've been storing up for the winter. I'm sure this will make a huge difference and we will not have any problems completing this chapter. So this is our local dumpster fire. In the trash, in this clearing, we will be accosted by quite a few waves of all manner of degenerates. The first wave, blast these wannabes till they're gone, but most importantly, make this man regret every life decision he's ever made. Second one, senior citizens and the pets they own. We tactically retreat into the shack, because we all know that dogs have major skill issues with doors, heavily filtering the amount of enemies that we have to deal with. Still a lot, but with my sniper rifle and grenades, we stagger the poor saps to body block and consistently get some one-shot confirms on the Tactical Enthusiast Club with my shotgun. The third wave, delinquents on the roof salivating to stop me in my tracks. We would have to sprint over to a small loop on the northeast end. Another choke point with 2 possible exits. And conveniently enough, another major skill issue for their dogs, as RNGesus just prevents them passage. Despite my good fortune, the ammo was substantial to say the least to bring these dogs down. Finally, we would bring down the Chainsaw Twins. One of them blasted out of their minds after 48 consecutive hours of, I only can assume, as gooning. I did the Good Samaritan thing and released him by unleashing my masterpiece of destruction with my Magnum Dawn. With everyone gone now, from what I can tell is a 5-mile radius, I could breathe once again. On ahead now, we would pick off the enemies to practice safe social distancing. Again, being the Good Samaritan that I am. Only obstacle ahead now is the dreaded holdout section in the low-rent Airbnb up the road. On top of that, we find out we have an entire extended family of cannibals showing up to eat whatever hot beef Luis and I have to give. This house of horrors took an embarrassingly long amount of time. I did not do gooder being this overstimulated. The sheer swelling, the sheer engorgement of people into this house left me frozen. The best hope I had was setting up Home Alone style traps with a 12 gauge. Enemies would not be going down easy. The best idea I had was jumping off of this ledge, getting those roided out peeps to trip on the way down here, and skedaddle my way back up. The only way I could guarantee not getting one shot or getting hurt beyond belief. Rinse and repeat until I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm glad to see you, Ashley. Barely anything left in me, We lick our wounds, starve for ammo on our high DPS weapons because using the SMG or pistol was just not feasible to hold back the horde in the previous section, so it'd not be the time to kick me while I'm down. Oy vey. So one thing we could be thankful for is Leon has plenty of ingredients to make a hearty meal with for this chapter. Before buying anything, we would inspect whatever fresh, impromptu colonoscopy we would have to face, and then make the crucial decision of what to spend my cash on. Yet again, a locker to jam Ashley into, because once in this gorge, we would not be leaving. Airtight quarters, but if you got rid of these pests on the platforms and over-enthusiastic Dirty Dan over here, the rest were fairly easy pickings. Good thing too, because once again, another holdout section. Looping would be the key to our survival, because holding them back would be an impossibility. However, it would be hard to focus most of the time from the prospect of an incoming serrated butt scratch at any moment. We would clump them together. If I could just get them together, I could outpace them, taking my few quiet moments to get some cover and make my attack. Like this MVP ledge here. Pointing up with my shotgun was just big business and always generated value for us. At this point, ammo preservation was not my priority. There will always be more ammunition, but there was only so much fish in the sea for Leon to eat. Something important to keep in mind, so we were just dumping out lead like Rambo. We would obtain our pivotal lever through this mix of ledge and using this ladder to bait them and have them just fall back to the bottom. We did have a victory, but it was Pyrrhic at best, because we took some heavy losses and depleted most of our health items. Let's just cross our fingers that the boss fight won't be too bad. In this installment of the Scorpion King, the Rock would descend upon us with his stunt doubles. Fortunately, I could just leave Ashley for dead and she would magically respawn next to me. Serves you right for being too slow. You gotta get your cardio in. Preparing for getting ahead of the game. Maybe different words. We just now get the body armor finally. Very valuable, so I can have a few more precious seconds to ingest some healing items, or just take a couple more hits that would kill me. Here, I wish I could buy more health items, but I bought everything already in the past and lost too much, and I regret everything. So we would have to outmuscle the Scorpion King with very little assistance. However, for him, he has plenty of help. An interesting blend of brick walls. Hey, could I just sneak past you there, please? Please? We would have to contend with the front and the back. Eliminating the henchmen made it just much more manageable, and then I could get to work just squeezing that pimple of an eyeball. Second phase, he still has stunt doubles waiting up in the rafters, I guess. They come in, and I just couldn't have anyone particularly behind me when I already have RPGs in front of me to deal with. Another question, who pays you that you have the money to constantly give these guys infinite RPGs? One flash grenade has to do the trick. A hefty investment, but a well worth one in my opinion, because it just automatically takes them out. As a fun fact, that guy has Los Plagas. Proceed to scrounge on the Scorpion, and all we can find is this handy dandy eyeball, and I take it like a psychopath. Before we get a break, a couple more show up to make sure we're not supposed to be having a fun time. It is skippable, but I am a loot goblin by heart. On to the ominous castle. This marks, I feel, the jaws, the toothy maw of this challenge sinking its teeth into me, pulling me further into its inky black depths. Thank you all so much for watching this part 1 of this challenge. Even though it's breaking my mind and soul, I am loving it, and it's making me work for it a little bit, feeling truly accomplished in gaming, something I have loved doing for a very long time now. If you want to support a stay-at-home dad to continue making videos like this, please subscribe down below so you don't miss that part 2 coming out soon. And you can always check out Twitch, where my human familiar sometimes streams these challenges. Bye now.